Greetings and salutations, welcome back to the 90s. When we look back at TV shows that had cartoons that played on them, there were quite a lot of them that were very prominent in the 90s that aren't around much, but would continue to it into 2000s. Today, we're looking at the top 5 cartoons from Kids WB. Which was cartoons that were owned or produced through Warner Brothers. Let's look at number 5. The Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. This was a show that I watched back when it was on TV, and I kind of enjoyed it.
Whenever there's a crime or trouble that no one can solve at all, it seems, that's when they come and on the double. Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries. It might be day or night, whenever conditions are right for them to flee. Somehow it all still fits together. Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries.
The show was, well, about Sylvester and Tweety, who would go on around the world with Granny to solve mysteries that were going on. Sort of like Agatha Christie stories, minus the murder and more Looney Tunes. Honestly, the animation for the show, looking back, is still pretty nice looking for a spin-off based on Looney Tunes.
I'm starved and he's stuffed.
Big kitty, big kitty, big kitty.
Two grannies, two grannies, two grannies, two grannies.
The show would first start airing on September 9th, 1995, and would continue airing up until February 5th, 2000. The final episode didn't appear on Kids WB, though, and the show ran for 5 seasons. The voice acting for Tweety and Sylvester was done by Joe Alaskey, and Granny was voiced by June Foray, and Hector, basically the dog who was the bodyguard to Tweety. Was voiced by Frank Welker, also known as the voice actor for Starscream and also other characters. Batman Beyond. Before you question it, yes, looking at Batman Beyond, the third animated show to take place in the DC animated universe, that was also done by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini. Following a new character, in this case, Terry McGinnis, who would be the new Batman under an older Bruce Wayne, with Terry voiced by Will Friedle and Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne. The show would first start airing on January 10th, 1999, and to December 18th, 2001. There are a ton of great moments from the show that stay with us, like old Bane, who had slowly succumbed to the use of venom, who slowly succumbed to the use of venom.
Bane. What happened to him?
Too many years on Venom. That's what the stuff will do to you.
Here's the thing, though. Since this show is taking place in the future, like the Joker had kind of in a way passed away, like in the New Adventures of Batman. However, we really didn't know that until the Return of Joker. So we had the gang, the Joker gang, like, you know, to take his place at the time.
What are you doing?
Fighting dirty.
The real Batman would never...
Told you didn't know me.
Funny guy.
Can't say the same for you.
Impudent brat. Who do you think you're talking to?
Not a comedian, I'll tell you that.
Shut your mouth!
The show would also talk about topics like abuse, family trouble, and substance abuse, and new characters like Melanie Walker.
You know what it's like being uprooted every few weeks? Never quite knowing what's going to be happening next? I'm Melanie Walker. What's wrong? With me, it's always been now or never.
Ever consider later?
Honestly, I gotta say the first episode, when he ends up like upsetting, like, say a gang, and then he comes back home to Terry comes back home to see, like, you know, his house destroyed and his dad attacked. It's really sad. I was like, now let's look at something a bit more lighter toned. Animaniacs. We've looked at Animaniacs before, but looking back at the show, it was a very intelligent, funny show that you could get anyone to laugh at.
It's time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax, you'll laugh when you can laugh. We're Animaniacs. Come join the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister Dot. Just for fun, we run around the Warner movie lot. They lock us in the tower whenever we get caught, but we break loose and then the moose, and now you know the plot.
No matter your age. Well, that's just how I feel about it. The show was about the Warner Brothers and the Warner Sister, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot, as they would have many zany adventures, whether it was teaching us about the states and their capitals.
Texas has Austin, then we go north to Massachusetts, Boston, and Albany, New York, Tallahassee, Florida, and Washington, D.C., Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Nashville, Tennessee. Elvis used to hang out there a lot, you know.
Oh, you're not really big into musicals? Oh, well, okay, well, that's fair. How about the time they decided to tease William Shatner about his singing ability and calling him Willie Slagmore?
Whenever we go out, the people always shout, "There goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt."
La 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 la. And now for some singing.
What is going on?
We are as soon as you get off.
But I'm entertaining my little friends, my
Small friends. Yeah, we know.
This was a show from the 90s, so it would sometimes have pop culture references, like who was the president at the time? In this case, Bill Clinton. Heck, nothing was really off limits on this show. Heck, not even really airport safety videos that you would sometimes see when you would go onto an airplane. Number 2, Batman: The Animated Adventures. to actors becoming household names like Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill as the Joker, and the creation of a new character, in this case Harley Quinn, voiced by Arlene Sorkin.
Go away, I'm busy.
Oh, come on, Puddin'. Don't you want to rev up your Harley? Vroom, vroom. Ah!
What exactly made the show worth going back to watch even today? Well, the show had its elements like its dark, brooding atmosphere, but at times it would have a light in that darkness. Whether it was stories involving Mr. Freeze, which he was given a bit more of a Shakespearean kind of touch with his stories.
Even if you have to kill everyone in the building to do it.
Think of it, Batman. To never again walk on a summer's day with a hot wind in your face and a warm hand to hold. Oh yes, I'd kill for that.
The loss of one's identity to one's dark side with the character of Harvey Dent, also known as Two-Face. One story that I still remember even today is the episode Baby Doll, about a small actress trying to relive a show that made her famous, but she couldn't escape the role she did as a child or still be seen as one.
There I am. But it's not really real, is it? Just made up and pretend like my family and my life and everything else. Why couldn't you just let me make believe?
Pokemon! When it comes to anime, if you grew up in the 90s, most folks will say the first they ever saw was Dragon Ball. But most other folks will say the first anime they probably watched, but probably didn't really know it was at the time as well, was Pokemon. The show first started airing on our TV screens on April 1st, 1997, and even continues to this very day. Although it's not really on Cartoon Network or Kids WB, it's currently playing on Netflix. I have to say, looking back at it, there are a lot of great moments to this show. Whether it is the first adventure between Ash and Pikachu, because Pikachu really doesn't want to just go on adventures with Ash, doesn't really like him.
Come and get me!
Or, at times, later as the show would go on, Ash getting into a Pokemon battle with a ghost gym master, in this case, Sabrina, who tries to basically, whenever someone loses in a battle against her, she turns them into dolls.
Have you returned for more humiliation? Haven't you realized that you'll never defeat me?
Brock and Misty are my friends, and I can't leave them behind. Not even if you're gonna turn me and all my Pokemon into dolls.
Pika!
Ash!
If you want to be a doll too, I'll be glad to play with you. It'll be a one-on-one battle. Sabrina's Pokemon will be...
We can still talk though. Oh, or how about like say like the rivalry? I can't. That word's hard to say. Rivals between Ash and Gary, like whenever they would fight, like say in their Pokemon battles, like say their battle with Charizard and Blastoise.
Blast! That's no good. I gotta do something about that hydro pump first. That's it! If we can't hit Blastoise, we can hit everything else! Charizard, use Flamethrower to burn the battlefield!
Yeah, like looking back at it, the animation for Pokemon is still really nice to watch. It has, like, say, that Saturday morning cartoon feel that you really kind of miss, honestly. And the show would also have some moments that had dramatic story elements, like, say, when James from Team Rocket decided to go home and remembers things from his childhood, and in a way is having to have a marriage.
You'll learn to be a real gentleman once you marry the right girl. And here she is!
Whoa. Huh?
As James's wife, it'll be your duty to change him from a worthless do-nothing into a respectable gentleman. My dear Jezebel.
As you wish, Mother.
Because his family's wanting to get married. And I will say that a lot of, like, viewers who probably enjoyed watching Pokemon grow up, their favorite moment, I would say, I could totally be wrong about this, was when Pokemon, the movie, came out. Probably getting the chance to play the video games. Kids WD, WB had a lot of shows, but they all gave us lasting memories. I'll see you all next time.